Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Stud and Dud presented by the Dallas School of Music. Thank you all for listening. I'm Josh Smith. With me each week, Dr. Bob Lawrence. What's up, Doc?
I'm here, Josh.
Another new camera angle here.
Man, you're getting risky on us.
Well,
you're going out. You're branching out, man.
No, so and look, parents know everyone. Well, I've let everyone know. Let you know the inspection last week. So I got the house all tidied up.
Yeah, are you homeless?
Nope, good to go. We
haven't been evicted?
Yeah. No, hadn't been evicted.
Because my wife just asked about that.
Yeah,
she goes, was Josh evicted?
It was
great.
Said,
I think he's pretty close to being evicted.
Great guy. What's funny, first thing when he came in, it wasn't an inspection, it was more because it's a realtor, because they're about to put the house on the market, unfortunately. So he was there to take pictures to make it look all nice and tidy, so on and so forth. Mow the yard, and we're like, really? So it's like one of those things that you see, unfortunately, sometimes when you're looking for houses where you could tell someone already lives there, but
What'd you do with the 120 dogs?
With 120 dogs, went with Avery. So, yeah,
so
except for two.
Okay.
Except for two, and they were great, but he didn't even care about them, luckily. But the first thing he said when he came in, your house is very clean, very good tenant. First thing he said, awesome Asian guy, I loved him to death, so now I get to deal with him.
And why is the backyard grass growing so much? Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Why are there yellow spots?
Spots all over the... Yeah. Okay, but other than that, you're a really good tenant.
Yes, he was like, very good tenant. Keep the floors very clean. I'm like, and I look down like, man, I need to clean the floors again. The dog's got them dirty here in the last hour. Like, But anyway, my point being, back to the original point of this story, was I was, hiding, which I took most, and he was even saying, he was like, I'll try to avoid most of your personal, because I try to take some of your pictures down. He even said, I'll try to avoid some of your pictures, but I try to hide most of your eccentric cords. That, or I'll just pull them off, put them in a cabinet for the time being, because, you don't want your cords all, but your house looking pretty.
Correct.
Not that it matters. No one knows whose house it is. But anywho, I guess somehow in the process, when I went to hide my GoPro charger, which is, by the way, hidden behind my old school, thank you, brother, Jaws poster. Old school Jaws poster it's
1975 Jaws?
Old. I don't know what year he got it, but it's definitely from the 90s because it is so old. Maybe when they redid it came out DVD or something. But it is so old. It's awesome. But it sits behind that. It's leaned up against the wall. I don't have it up. I have an old school frame kind of leaned up against the wall underneath this cool Michael Jordan poster. Anyway, I guess somehow in the process when I went to tuck it back behind there, got it unplugged. Like, point being, today, because it was plugged up the whole time. The camera.
So that's why we have the new view.
Yes, because I went to go get the camera this morning, did the double check, which I've always done. If you're in media, if you're in music, you always do a double check. You make sure you have, and I've failed a couple times. Discount double check. And I failed a couple times, but I've been on it every week. Make sure, my media has 3 hours in it, my media card has, and it's in it, by the way, and that it's charged, that I have a full battery, it's 100%.
So you went to all that to tell us that we got a
that
new
in the
view.
end, I look at it, I get it this morning to do the discount double check. And I did discount, though. That's a discount. Literally, it is a discount. And I was discounting myself. I said, no, don't look back there, and it's literally just barely hanging, one of those things were just barely hanging in there.
You could have just told everyone listening that we got a new view because the
I wanted to let everyone know I was dud. I want to be an honest person. I'm transparent, but we might have a new view, maybe. Wink, wink.
We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, right? We need to come up with a multi-view camera. So we get one on both of us, one on you, one on me. So they get, and I go back and edit that.
Because
super cool.
People want to see more of us.
Especially you. All right, so let's get to what's on tap today. Doc goes off in What's Up, Doc. I kind of have a little What's Up. We recap week 2 of college football, week 1 of NFL, and our fantasy football league. And, of course, preview the upcoming weeks. Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks. Cannot wait to get to it. Mr. Gabriel. Hopefully we'll talk about him. Mr. Roman. And in our coveted Stud or Dud segment, we visit the ghost of Stud's past. Cannot wait. And I was going to put, I kept it Studly this week. But you'll have to stick around. Maybe there might be a dud in there. You never know. Don't want to tease you too much, but definitely go on a tilt-a-whirl around there. But first, let's talk about South Bend last week. Was it beautiful or what? You'd call it literally what? Heaven on earth.
Speechless.
There you go.
Oh, I was hoping.
You got me there for a minute.
Pick up on that, man.
Well, you should have just not said anything for a minute. I'm like, speechless.
I'm not sure. I had to talk because I didn't think you were going to pick up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. How was it?
Okay, speechless. Can't even. Great. The pictures were phenomenal.
Yeah, there are no words to describe the University of Notre Dame.
Especially for that you hadn't been there in years. You know what I mean? It's not like one of those things where you're.
Yeah, I grew up a Notre Dame fan. My big brother went there.
And the tradition they have. And I hate that I've lost that for Arkansas. So not that I have any kind of tradition like Notre Dame or even going back home, like their stadium's nothing like Notre Dame. But, it's crazy how you get that nostalgia and that when you go there versus almost any other school there is.
And it's just gorgeous. It's,
And speaking of which, your son, back-to-back weeks, Tuscaloosa, South Bend. So from University of Alabama to University of Notre Dame. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's living large.
How's he loving that?
He's loving it.
I mean, I was going to say liking it, but how's he loving it?
No, he's loved it. He loves it. And he's got some other big schools coming up. He's going to be visiting Louisville.
Nice.
And he's got
which Notre Dame started off with this year in football, which is crazy.
He's got Georgia coming up. He's got West Virginia.
Wow.
So he's got a few more schools, but I tell you what, I think he got spoiled. He really enjoyed the campus at Notre Dame. He had a connection with the coaches, felt really great, loved the coaches. So, I mean, and you know what, and the whole point of this is it's kind of cool. You know, they invite these kids in, and the whole deal is, you know, I keep reminding him, hey, you're trying them out too.
Exactly.
It's a two-way street.
Exactly.
You know, you got to have a connection with the coaches, the facilities, the environment. It's more than just playing the game.
Big time. I mean, you got to take advantage of that, going which one is going to be the best fit for me.
Correct.
Not only coach-wise, like where do you feel most comfortable living for the next most likely 4 years or so?
And I always got to kind of rein him in because I got to be honest, man, he's an easy sell.
Oh, yeah. A lot. I mean, I understand, yeah.
Right? I mean, even when he was in like fourth grade, we went to a baseball camp on the campus of Ole Miss. And they bring these fourth graders in, man. They're like fourth graders. Ole Miss doesn't even miss a beat, right?
Right.
They pull these fourth graders into their video room, and they show highlights of Ole Miss baseball with the music pumping and everything.
Yeah.
Gardner comes out of that room. He's in fourth grade. He goes, Dad, I'm going to Ole Miss. I
There
go,
you go,
you're in fourth grade. Shut up.
Yeah.
Just, you know, you got a little time.
Let me know what you think even like a month from now.
You're right.
Let alone a week, probably.
So, you know, Gardner's thing is when he's in Alabama, it's like roll tide.
Well, you know what we're going to do?
And then
we're going to get him in back to the hill.
He's going back.
I know we're going to do that the very last, though. We're going to get him in one last time. His very last visit. Official visit.
Yeah, because he seems to right.
That's what I'm going to tell DVH. Oh, damn. I'm going to start calling him that so you think I know him. Oh, DVH. But for real, I'm like, Dave, get him in the very last
Now, he
week.
liked him a lot, too.
Oh, he got to.
He loved him as a coach.
I would
right?
imagine. I hope.
Right.
And that's why I want him to get back up there. Now it's been, he's seen all these other schools.
Yeah.
But now, and that's the thing. He's really got to have to start soon, narrowing it down, going, who are the 5 to 6, 7 that I really.
Correct.
And I say 5, 6, but definitely at least 3 to 5 for sure that you're going to want to narrow it down to because it's. And that's the thing, too. Then you got to start, well, who's going to offer you, too? And that's when the offers are going to start coming out, I would assume, soon.
Well, who's going to offer and where are you going to have a chance to play?
Yeah.
You know, Arkansas here's the problem with Arkansas is fabulous. You've heard me say this before on this show that when it comes to baseball,
they groom you properly.
The University of Arkansas is tough to beat. Man. That is like probably, if not it's got to be.
Well, it's in the top 5-10 over the last decade or so, for sure.
Easily.
Yeah.
It's a premier program.
Yeah,
All you got to do is
decade.
go on campus and go to that facility and see their accolade, that resume that they have.
I mean,
It's impressive.
And wait till you go to a game, like I'm saying, in the fall there. I mean, I should say, if you ever get to, I don't know if y'all will, but go to a game in the spring there.
Right.
Because of what y'all have, but oh my gosh.
I think the only concern with any kid, high school kid looking at Arkansas to play baseball, is the question that has to be asked is, Coach, am I even going to have any play time here?
Yeah.
Because the competition is like stellar.
But that's what you want, and that's when you do succeed, you're brought to light that much more. And that's the thing too about I love about that school. It may not be your freshman year that you're really getting a lot of PT. It's probably going to be your sophomore or junior year. But that's when a lot of players really need to play. I mean, it's great to get out there and play your freshman year, but when you're in the SEC.
Right.
How many teams there are?
Yeah.
How many freshmen are going to be playing? Because the talent is up here.
The talent is so high.
And so it's hard for a lot of freshmen to get in there right away and go.
You're going to have to go and pay your dues.
Exactly. You got to. So that's, it's a lot to balance for Gardner, which is awesome, to think he's in that light, which is really cool. But anyway,
he loved the trip, and I got a story I'm going to share here a little later.
I can't wait. Yeah, good. All right. Time for us. Movie time. Get to movies. Another big movie I can't wait to see. It 2. Did you ever see the original It back when it came out on BBC, like the TV series?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The scary movie It with the clown. You've got to see the clown.
I've seen the clown, but I don't watch scary movies.
Oh, okay. So
I don't like scary movies.
Okay, so
scary movies stay with me. In fact, you brought up Jaws, man. I started sweating over here. That's like 1975,
I know, right?
and I went back to that. And
right, you're like,
sweating.
oh no.
Can we stop talking about Jaws?
Now we've got another one. So anyway,
you talked about the Jaws poster, and I immediately had to divert my attention to my Farrah Fawcett poster that I had from 1975. I'm going like Jaws, Farrah Fawcett, Jaws. I'm going to focus.
As they go together,
I'm going to focus on Farrah Fawcett.
Farrah Fawcett in her bikini beating up Jaws. That's all you got to think about. Come on, Farrah.
Yeah, so I don't watch scary movies.
Well, it's definitely good. They did a good job with the first time around. Got a good cast of kids. Well, this time around, it's now them grown up. And they got a good cast again, it looks like. But the cool part of this is we're going to go see it at there's two, they have Coyote Drive-In is what it's called. There's two in the DFW area. There's one over Fort Worth. It's the backdrop is downtown Fort Worth. Now, I mean, it's not like the biggest, but it's still pretty. With the point being, we go there.
That's even worse, right? You're going to watch a scary movie outside.
Yeah.
No, not good.
That's what we do.
Not good, man.
We're bringing the dogs, some of them.
Not good.
So we take our purple Jeep, the Thanos, and we take the top off, right?
Oh, my gosh. See, no. You got to lock the doors, roll up the windows. You had a scary movie, dude. I can't do it, man.
That's us. So we're adventurous. You know us.
Yeah.
I was swimming with sharks last year in the Bahamas in bikini.
Yeah, it's so you, man. This
in the Bahamas.
is so you, yeah.
Anyway, a little thing it just said in the Bahamas in a bikini. But in the Bahamas last year, swimming with sharks. So yes, I think I threw a bikini in there.
Talk about frightful.
Yeah. Now we're really spicing it up.
I can't. We can't go on. Let's stop the show.
All right.
I can't.
Yeah, right.
I'm totally like.
All right. So, but that's the cool thing with us. We take it over there. We take the because we don't do that often because we don't have a garage with the space really to take the door. Take all the stuff off the Jeep that you can because you can take everything off of a Jeep essentially.
That's pretty cool.
It's so cool. So we'll do that. We take the dogs over there. We go see a movie, and we love seeing it. So that's what we're going to go do most likely on Monday. So literally the day this releases, why everyone's watching or listening to this, or maybe watching it on the new angle over here. Hey guys, how you doing?
Yes.
We'll be watching it. That we're doing. That's what we're doing for Monday night. Yeah, taking that over. We'll have the dogs with us. No one's going to be. I love that. That's the cool thing about that place. In the wintertime, they have a skating rink that they put in the middle. We've been during the winter. It's so cool. The Coyote Drive-In. It's a real cool place.
Yeah. No, I think the last scary movie I saw was in high school, The Exorcist, when it came out.
Ooh, no, that'd be a good one.
It freaked me out, dude.
Oh, I bet.
I ain't going back. I ain't going to back.
Oh, especially oh man, if you saw drive-ins back in the day.
Dude, I don't even want to go there.
All right, so let's get into it. What's up, Doc?
Oh man, is this my segment?
What's up, Bob? What's up?
Oh man. Well, look, I got a lot to talk about.
All right.
Now I could actually. The whole Antonio Brown thing is ticking me off.
Ticking you off.
But I don't. We could talk about that.
How
the spoiled athlete, that whole kind of groove, that thing. But you know what I've decided to do with what's up?
I didn't want to talk about him for the third week or however many row because 2 weeks in a row we brought him up as a dud.
Now he's accused of rape.
Again, it's 3 weeks in a row. That's what I'm saying. It's 3 weeks in a row.
Now he's accused of rape, and you know how this is going to end, right? A month later, the case has been dropped.
She's dropped it because he gave her something.
Yeah, I wonder why.
And now he's playing for the Patriots, racking up touchdowns, and you're just everyone fool them with the brains pissed.
So again, special treatment will be given.
Oh yeah, I mean, like the NFL player, what's his name, Dante Stallworth, that killed someone. What is it called, vehicular manslaughter? But he was drunk, and now he's still walking. I'm like, how is he not?
Dude,
in
you'd
prison?
Be in jail.
I would be done.
You'd be in jail
for life.
Yeah. You'd be in jail.
Yes. So back to your point. Let's get to what's up. Let's get positive today.
Yeah.
We're keeping it positive.
Yeah, we're going to keep it positive today. So I want to share this story. This is a great story, and especially for any young kids listening, or quite honestly, for us adults too.
Yeah. Oh, certainly. Okay. Certainly for a lot of adults.
So I got to brag a little bit on my boy. We're up at the University of Notre Dame last week. He gets done. All the tryout and the clinic and tryout stuff is held on Saturday. So
nice.
It's an all-day Saturday thing. So
did you get inside any of the stadiums, by the way? Do they do that?
Oh, they give you.
That's what I thought.
I mean, that's part of the recruitment.
I'm just making sure for these guys.
Oh yeah, part of the recruitment. They you know how.
I know. I'm just letting these guys know. I'm teasing you. I'm trying. What's funny? So I called real quick. I called the other day. Yesterday, I called. I don't know if you've seen the story, but I called 103.7 The Buzz, the show with no name. Talked to Basil, Roger, and Bad.
Really?
I said, hey guys, got a quick question. We're doing the. We'll get. You know what? I'm gonna save that story. But the point is Dad teased me. He was like, what's your podcasting? What's the name of it again? I'm like, Dad. And he was like, I'm trying. And then, of course, they're all like, oh, well, he's trying to lead you. I'm like, yeah, no, he's trying to. But my dad asked me what my podcast is. That's pretty shady. Come on, Dad. I mean, like, have Roger lead me in or something. Not you who's been on the show. They're all laughing, of course. They're like, oh, no, you're trying to lead me in.
He's giving you credit like me when you said, how was it? And I went speechless, thinking you'd pick up on it, right? He was trying to lay it out.
So I was trying to tease you again. So they do the whole spiel. They're letting you. They're saying, look at our beautiful football stadium. Hey,
they go football. They go
everywhere.
To the Basilica. They go everywhere. They take you everywhere.
So you're just like you. You're just
So you get caught up. Yeah. You get caught up in all of it, right? Yep. So
back to your story.
So anyway, done with all the baseball activities on Saturday. We kind of hang out on campus Saturday night, which was beautiful. Ate there and enjoyed the campus life. Sunday we got up and we attended Mass at the Basilica there, which is just, oh my gosh, just gorgeous. And it was just a great experience. And then after Mass, We went down to the grotto, and he wanted to. He said to me,
"So the first time ever, too, y'all been together, right?
Yes,
Attended mass together there.
There, yes, and yeah, I'm glad you. Yeah, we go to mass every week, but
But
yes,
there,
but
I know
there,
what
right.
you mean. But that was which was cool because we
Yes.
brought that up last week. That was the first time y'all both been
It was awesome.
together.
It was awesome. So he says to me, check it out, man. 16-year-old boy says, Dad, I want to take a few minutes before we head back to Chicago because we had to get back down to Chicago to catch a flight to come,
Yeah, drive it. Yep.
to come back.
I saw the pictures eating along the way there, getting those beautiful dishes.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, the pizza.
It was oh my
the
God.
pie. I mean, it's a pie.
It's a pie. That's a pie. So anyway, he says I want to write thank you notes to the coaches.
Oh wow! Now boom, he's already digging in there early. Look at that.
I want to write thank you notes. I said, you want to write thank you notes? He goes, yeah. He goes, I brought my stationery. He said, I'd like to sit down there by the grotto, by the lake. I'm going to write these thank yous to the coaches. I'd like to address them and mail them here in South Bend so they get delivered to them by Tuesday.
Yeah.
I said, great, man. So he's writing, he took the time, he took about 45 minutes, and he wrote a personal thank you note to the 4 coaches that he was working with on Saturday.
Yeah.
So he said, Dad, did you find the address? I said, man, I can't. I said, everything's buttoned down pretty tight on the website.
They're not going to give their home addresses.
I can't find.
I would mail it to them on
well,
campus.
even finding the address for them on campus to try to figure out how to address it
to
make sure.
Yeah, they get it right.
So I said, you know what? Let's drive around campus. We're going to find, we'll find somebody maybe that can help us or
just
point
ask
us
around.
in the
Like, hey, we want to get these of these coaches.
So, lo and behold, man, we're driving right in front of the baseball stadium, right in front of the baseball facilities.
Gotcha.
And I noticed there is a police officer, Notre Dame police officer, sitting in his cruiser, and just sitting there. So I turn around, and Gardner goes, "What are you doing?" I said, hang on, man. We're gonna find out if we can get some help.
Yeah.
So I pull up to his police cruiser, right? He's like here. I pull up like this right next to it, right? And it's hilarious because both of our windows go down like this. Like this at the same time, right? He's sitting there with his shades on. And he says, how can I help you guys? And I said, well, officer, I said, I hope you can. I said, my son here, he had a tryout with the coaches yesterday, baseball coaches, and right away he was like, congratulations,
Yeah.
And I said, but here's the deal. He's handwritten some thank you notes that he wants to mail to the coaches, to their offices here on campus.
Right.
And we can't find any address to how to do that on the website. So Keith, that's his name.
Nice.
The officer.
Officer Keith.
Rolls down. Looks over at Gardner. He says, you hand wrote 4 thank you notes to the coaches? He says, yes, sir. He goes, park your car and get in. I said, okay. So we parked the car. Gardner goes, what's going on? I said, just get in the cop car.
Yeah, right. He knows where to go.
Just get in the cop car.
Yeah.
So we get in the cop car, and Keith looks back at him and again says, so you actually hand wrote 4 thank you notes to the coaches? He said, yes, sir. He said, well, man, if you hand wrote thank you notes, then we should hand deliver those thank you notes.
That's what I was thinking too.
And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So he said, I'm going to drive.
But you'd have to find where they are or go back to if you knew where their offices were.
So he goes, come on, we're going to go over to the Joyce Center. The Joyce Center is where the baseball offices are.
Yeah.
The coaches, right? So he goes, everything's buttoned down. Everything's locked up. So I don't know if there's going to be anybody there, but worst case scenario, he said, what we can do is I'll let you into the facility.
Yeah.
We can slide those thank you notes under their doors.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we get over to the facility. We are literally like 5 feet from the door, and he gets a little, boop, 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 call on his walkie-talkie thing. He goes, hang on a second, guys. He goes to his lapel, and he goes, yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll be right there. And then he says, okay, guys, I got to go. And we're like, 5 feet from the door.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you in.
Yeah.
You can go up, I think it's the second floor where those offices are. He said, just when you get done, leave the facility and make sure the door is locked.
Shut. Oh, okay, locked. Yeah, because I'm sure it locks behind it.
It locks behind, but just make sure everything latches, right? I said, man, how cool is that? And he goes, if I have time, I'll swing back by and check on you.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, we get in, we get upstairs, right? We get upstairs. We're like, now we can see it, man. We're right there in the baseball wing. but there's doors to the corridor that go into where the offices are.
Ah.
So we go to open up the door, and it's locked.
Yeah.
So now we can't get into the hallway where the baseball offices are because the corridor is locked. So I said to Gardner, I said, just slide the thank yous under the door right there, man. When somebody comes Monday morning and opens up the door, they're going to see those envelopes and deliver them to the coaches.
Yeah.
Gardner, being, old nervous Nelly, goes, I don't know, Dad. I don't know. I said, well, so I just bang on the door.
Yeah.
He goes, what do you do? I said, well, maybe someone's
going to hear it.
Maybe
hopefully's here. Yeah.
Maybe someone's here, right? Sure enough, this guy down the hall at the end of the hallway comes out of an office. He starts walking down the hall. Gardner goes, oh my gosh, Dad, that's Coach Jarrett, the head coach of Notre Dame.
Well,
baseball.
The one that probably is going to be there.
The head coach, right? Doing some work on a Sunday afternoon, right?
That's a good coach.
So as he's getting close, he's getting there and trying to figure out how did two guys
get in here?
Because this thing's locked up, right? How'd they get in here, right? And he gets closer and he sees it's Gardner. He opens up the door, he goes, hey, Gardner, what is there anything? How can I help you?
Yeah.
Gardner goes, Coach, I had a great time yesterday. I wrote thank you notes for you and the coaches.
Yeah.
And I wanted to deliver them before I took off. And the coach was like, you wrote 4 thank you cards to us, And Gardner goes, yes, sir. He goes, man, Gardner, thank you. Yeah, I'll make sure the coaches get all these, right?
Did y'all explain to him how the officer let you in?
Well, no. In fact, we talked a little bit more, and we said thank you, and we'll see you later, and we got to get to Chicago, and say, hey, safe travels, all that kind of stuff, right? So we get downstairs, right? We go outside. There's the police cruiser.
Yeah.
But there's no Keith. So he's like inside somewhere looking for us. We're outside now. So I said to Gardner, can you got his card? I said, I'm going to write him a little note of thanks and appreciation and put it on his windshield so he gets it, right? So I'm sitting there writing a little thank you note to Keith, and he comes out the door, and he's going, oh, there you guys are.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, man, thank you so much. He goes, did you see Coach? I said,
right? Yeah.
I said, yeah. And he goes, yeah, I got up there. This is what's so hilarious. Coach must be thinking, what the heck? He gets up there. He goes, hey, Coach. He goes, a father and his son. Son wrote some handwritten thank you notes for you. Wanted to make sure you got them. And the coach goes, I got them. And he goes, okay, great. Yeah. So I'm thinking like Gardner, coach is going like, man, that kid, man, you got the police involved. You got everybody involved, right?
He was probably, man,
how did this happen,
Yeah.
right? So what it ended up being great. So I got Keith's contact information, shot him off an email on Monday, thanking him for everything. But here's the deal. Here's the point. It was amazing how people wanted to bend over backwards because somebody took the time to handwrite, not email, but handwrite a thank you.
And they were trying to figure out, y'all were trying to figure out how to get to it. It's just.
Well, all we wanted to do is mail it. And here, Keith at Notre Dame, personifying the spirit of the university, actually gets us in the car.
Says, hey, if anything, and that's exactly what he should have done.
It was awesome.
That was, that's a crazy story. And literally just doing that early on, writing those the guys that we've had.
It makes all the.
Oh, gosh.
Well, listen, the competition is so tight. I said, I told Gardner, I said, look, all the boys there yesterday, they all play good. Yep. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there.
Oh, exactly.
They're all good athletes.
Yeah,
every one of them.
All around the United States.
All over the country.
Yeah.
They're all good athletes. I said to Gardner, I said, every one of those boys hit the ball yesterday. Every one of those boys caught the ball. Every one of those boys threw the ball. So, Gardner, how do you separate yourself from competition?
Yeah, exactly, right?
You got to separate yourself off the field.
Yep. Yeah.
Not just on the field.
Oh, yeah.
And on the field's hard because they're all good.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know how many boys hand wrote thank you notes to the coaches.
Oh, I bet you get my point. Maybe one other. Maybe one other. Maybe one other. Maybe. Yeah.
And that's a big maybe.
Yeah. But that's a percentage that does that. It's slim and far few between.
So my whole point here in What's Up, Doc, is, you know what? Sometimes doing some old school stuff, we've gotten away from it in this country. We've gotten away from it in this world. But if you're out there listening today, maybe take the time to write a nice thank you note to somebody.
Just go back to the roots, but no one teaches them anymore. Even just that simple stuff. Thank yous. Yes, sir. Your manners. Opening doors for people. Just doing simple things for people like that. Even what Keith did afterward.
Yeah, kindness.
Just weird.
It's just kindness.
Very
right?
weird. But let me get into a little what's up, Doc, because I meant to bring this up a few weeks ago.
I'm trying to keep it upbeat today, man. I try not
the
to be
U.S. basketball team, though.
I'm not,
have you not seen this, though?
Yeah.
Have you seen how they have just... And the reason why is because... And what's up... My main thing is what's up with the players not wanting to play? Just because it's a FIBA championships and it's not something big? I don't... And they're still going to win a medal of sorts. It's still a gold medal that they actually win, but I just don't understand. We only had one player from the 2016 squad that won a gold medal play on this squad. And now we're really going to have to work our ass off essentially to win a gold next year in 2020. Like, I'm like, why didn't any of them play? What do you play for a month? You play August, and you play middle of August to the middle of September. Now they're done.
They're too good. They're too good, man.
Yeah, right.
They're too good. They're too good for that. They're too good, man.
58 straight they'd won. 58 straight back to 2016. So it blows. It's just annoying. It blows my mind though. Just shows more and more of the world we are living in.
Yeah.
Can't stand it. Now it's gonna be the worst finish ever. Last night they were playing Serbia to get into the fifth. Anyway, they lost. They were down to Serbia after they lost to Serbia, which is wow. They were down 32-7 in the first quarter.
Serbia. Really?
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, let's get to the quick recap. Come on, we'll keep it upbeat. U.S. Open last week. Serena lost. Well, she could have kept going on with a ton of majors that she has. Nadal, he captured yet another.
Very nice.
He's one away from that. Now, Federer's at 20. That's the most ever for a man.
Yeah, very nice.
In men's titles, and now he's one behind at 19. So that's nuts.
Good for him.
And you got to think, too, that's why I was talking about that when we brought this up. It's so crazy, and now it's really coming to fruition to really show you months ago. Like, what? That rivalry, and to show you how much. They've won, between the two of them, they've won 39. You can't go any rivalry back. And I know you the ones in the past, but you get my point. No one has won as many as them. That is a ridiculous rivalry, and the fact and how good they've been.
Right.
39 majors.
Pretty dominant.
And that's 2 decades. I mean, that's from the mid to the late 2000s all the way to now, which is crazy because they're getting to, the 40ish, or close. I forgot to look up their age,
right.
But it's pretty
impressive.
Yelich, I'm sure you saw the crazy.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad right there, man.
Now, is it Yelich? Because I swear I heard that sometimes we're at Yelich.
I've always said Yelich.
Yelich. You sound like what is it?
Yelich.
Anyway, that was a crazy injury, was it not?
Yes, it's a crazy, but that's baseball. I mean, that's baseball,
right?
Well,
I don't think I've ever seen anyone fracture their kneecap and almost require surgery from a foul ball.
Yeah, it's a weird.
I've seen foul balls hit them, but never fracture your actual kneecap. Yeah. That's crazy. And 2 in the same week, another fracture. It's just crazy.
You know what they're going to have next, right? You know how the baseball guys, man, they love their gear, right? Mm-hmm. They got shoulders, elbows, things. They got right.
Yeah, now they're going to have little.
Yelich will come out next.
Right, he will. I'm sure it'll be padded of some sorts.
Somebody's going to come up with some kind of knee.
Yeah.
I mean, the bling that they like to wear, man.
Mm-hmm, that too.
When they get up to the plate, man.
I'm telling you. And what's crazy is 2 fractured. You don't see that too often fractured kneecap. Another one, Hunter Henry, a guy that played for the Arkansas Razorbacks, and I covered him in high school at Pulaski Academy, a Christian school in Little Rock. Now he's tied in for the Chargers 2 years in a row. The poor guy last year tore his ACL I think it was preseason, but tore something. They had Antonio Gates stuck around for one more season, and now this year it's definitely Hunter Henry's time to shine. Fractures his kneecap in the first game. I'm like, God,
just a bummer.
Man,
see, that's the drag, man.
I'm telling you,
it can be over at any time.
It can be. You got to enjoy it, but take advantage of it for sure. Speaking of some more back to baseball, did you see this last week? Giants manager Nick Bochy.
Yes.
Did you? I've never heard of him. I never.
You've never heard?
He's been around since 1995 and did not know this. First off, I don't know baseball that well, and I definitely don't know that many managers. Are you kidding me? I couldn't name you but 5 or 10 ever, as in the last 10, 15 years. You get my point.
I got it.
Not very well. Not very well.
Okay, so go on with it.
Yes. So he started the league. So he came to the league in 1995, right?
So disappointing.
What year is it right now?
2019.
His record going into a game against the Padres earlier this week was 1995 and 2019. He should have just retired. He should have just retired.
This is his last year, man.
Is that not nuts? Because that's why I saw an article and the guy's like, he should have just went ahead and retired in 1995 and 2019. They'd have been like, hold on, no, that's what year? That's his coach. That's not his record, is? They'd be like, what? Hold on, that's when he what? What is going on here? Is that not crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's pretty crazy. I had to bring that up. So cool little what's up moment right there. All right, so I'm telling you. Recap time, NCAA. What a week it was. You did have a good little call with you wanted A&M to beat Clemson. What? What are you laughing?
Oh, I got another story to tell you, man. It's hilarious.
What is it? What is it about?
Well, 2 weeks ago, the opening of NCAA football, right?
Yeah.
So Notre Dame played Louisville.
Yep.
And I was so ticked off in the fourth quarter because I wanted Notre Dame to try to run up the score. But no, Brian Kelly doesn't run up the score.
Yeah.
He brings
34-17, I think it was. They won.
Yeah, they could have punched it into the end zone again, made it 40-something to 17.
Yeah, it could have been at least 41
right?
to
They could have not let him
17.
score a touchdown. It could have been 40-something to 10.
I feel you.
And I was going off, right? In the family room, sitting in my chair with my Shiner box. I was going like, Kelly's got to grow some. He's got to learn how to be a coach. He's got to, man.
I got to watch the game with you, Doc.
I said Alabama would have ran it up. Clemson would have ran it up.
Oh,
Oklahoma.
Yeah. Especially when you look at the scores from last week. Alabama won 62-10, 63-17 for Georgia, 70-14 for Oklahoma.
Yeah, see, that's my point, right? And I'm going off. I'm going like, man. And I said to Gardner, when we're up at Notre Dame, if I run into Kelly, I'm going to just tell him to grow a pair and let's start coaching the game like it's supposed to be coached, right?
Right.
So I'm doing all this in my family room, sitting in my chair, So
after how many beers? 2 or 3 good enough for you. However many is enough for you.
So anyway, we're walking across campus Saturday, and Gardner goes, "Hey, Dad, here's your chance." I said, "Chance for what?" He goes, what you said you were going to tell Coach Kelly? Here he comes. And I look up, I'm going like, oh my gosh.
You're kidding me.
Brian Kelly and his offensive coordinator, Chip Strong or whatever his name is, right, are walking across campus because it's a bye week. Notre Dame didn't play last week, right?
This is crazy that you happened to pass by them.
So Gardner's going, here's your chance, Dad. Go ahead, man. Let it rip. And they're walking by.
Oh, you are
and I'm like this.
Word.
I'm going like this. Hey, Coach.
Yeah. The best you could have done to bring it up, I'm like, why don't we run, Coach? Why don't we run it up like the Clemsons and the
right?
Yeah, no. You're not going to be Coach. Why don't we? You're not going to be a redneck fan. No. You want to bring it up a nice Christian way.
But I didn't even do that, right? Yeah. I was like this.
Oh no, yeah. 9 out of 10 people, as much trash as they talk at the TV, as soon as they do see the coach, 9 out of 10 people are going to be.
Yeah, and Gardner's looking at me just shaking his head.
And then you can't go off. You got to be nice because then you're going to do it in front of your son. Then your son's like, Dad, are you kidding me? This is my visit.
That's what I told him. I said, you think I want to ruin your chances here, man?
Yeah.
But
if anything, you just shove him into a bush and you say, "What the?" And now he doesn't see Gardner. Gardner gets up, shaking. What was that, Dad? I'm like, I didn't want him to know I was with you. Okay, it's cool. He didn't see you. He thinks I'm a crazy lunatic now. Nothing to do with you.
Anyway, so go on with your NCAA.
No, it's good. You're good. No, last week though, Clemson, and I had a feeling. I'm not sold on
Clemson.
Here's why I'm not sold on A&M. Jimbo actually did do a pretty good job with. I said I take that back from last year. I'm just not really.
And now, who does Clemson play for the rest of the season?
ACC's down. Yeah. Ooh, wow.
So just pencil them in for the championship. I'm not sold on their
quarterback, Mond. Quarterback for A&M, I'm not sold on him. Mond or whatever. I know it's his last name, whatever his first name. I'm not sold on him. Alabama, just run through these. Alabama, 62-10. Georgia, 63-17.
See score?
I mean, even South Carolina on Charleston Southern, 72-10.
See?
I mean, they're not even ranked, and they ran up the score. They're like, I know we both got close with Hurricane Dorian, you more so, Charleston, but we're really about to kill you.
Yeah, right?
I know Dorian didn't, but we about to.
Right?
I mean, anyway, the other great game last week, LSU pulled off a great win here.
That was a good game.
That was a good game. I love games. That's what I'm saying. I love games like that.
That was a good game.
I can't stand games that are 10-3. Give me a 45-38 like it was.
Shootout,
it was a good barn burner. Almost a barn burner.
Yeah, Texas wasn't going to catch them because they couldn't stop them.
They couldn't. They couldn't. And LSU's defense has had a little bit, like you always say, they have that talent, so they had a little more talent to be able to stop Texas as well. Great game, though. Here's another close one. Number 7, Michigan, though. Double overtime. They barely hung on against Army, 24-21.
Listen, never count out the military schools.
It's crazy.
Ever.
I'm telling you.
They're athletes.
Upsets that did happen, though. Cal upset number 14, Washington, 20-19. USC, the court freshman, I think he's a freshman.
He's out.
Huh?
With the
new one. The first-time starter. That dude is a stud. I watched some of that game. Wow. They upset Stanford 45-20. Colorado beat number 25, Nebraska, 34-31. And how about Tennessee? Have you seen Tennessee and who they've lost to the last couple of weeks?
Yeah. They're
Georgia Southern, I think, the first week, and this last week, BYU.
Yeah. It's
and 2 overtimes. Speaking of which, another double overtime.
And they have
game.
A proud program, too.
Speaking of which, so down in Florida, as I was, a month ago now, literally ran into some dust. They were wearing Vol. It was the day we were leaving. They were wearing Vol gear. The whole week I didn't realize they were the unit beside us. I saw them, but didn't realize they were wearing Vol gear. So I'm coming up on the elevator, I had to ask, especially during doing the show, being a sports fan. Glad I did bring it up. Gotta ask, guys. Still upset about letting go of Fulmer? Phil Fulmer. They're the GOAT is, and they literally let the GOAT go. Like every fan are still so pissed. And of course, they finally brought him back on to do whatever and upper, but they're like, it needs to be, bring him back to the coach.
Right.
They should just full circle it and just say, don't let him do the upper tier. Correct. So whatever his little job is.
Right.
Let him be the coach. I mean, but yeah, they were highly pissed. As soon as I brought it out, I was like, sorry to bring it. They're like, trust me, I'm a Hog fan. So I had one little spurt with Petrino. It's pretty decent with that, but you know what I mean? Like, I hadn't had nothing since then. I didn't even wasn't alive when we were great in the 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, Arkansas didn't do good the opening week, did they?
Whew. Well, the opening week, they barely beat, remember Portland State by a touchdown. Last week, they lost to Ole Miss at Ole Miss 31-17. So, not looking good. And it hurts when you have talent, because back in the day, it was on the other day on Longhorns Network, which is funny. They were playing, even when we weren't good. 2004, we still had incoming people like Peyton Hillis that ended up being on the Madden cover. But we always had a little bit of talent. We had Matt Jones at quarterback, who was probably one of a great quarterback, one of the best running quarterbacks we've ever had. Point being the long, lanky white guy. You probably don't remember him, but he played around 2001 to 2004. Went to the NFL and was in Jacksonville Jaguars as a wide receiver for about 5, 6, 7 years.
Okay.
Anyway, was 6'5", 6'6", was one of those guys, which is crazy. When I was in 10th grade, so back in 2000, he played at Fort Smith Northside. Well, we played him that year, Cabot did, in the playoffs and beat him 21-3. Held him. I mean, he was just, it's crazy. It was so crazy to see this deer-like. And luckily he didn't, that year we went undefeated in one state. Whoop, whoop, my state championship, highest classification too. I know it's only Arkansas. But hey, I'm just saying, come on, I got to throw it out there. I know it's no Texas football, but come on. Anyway, we ran through a couple of good studs that year. But regardless, when he went to Arkansas and everyone, he'd outrun these guys, like even these D-backs, obviously these D-backs, you know what I'm saying? They're running 4.3, 4.4s, and he's just blowing by him. Because he has that long stride. It was, Hogs always had, even when we were down, we were still pretty good. Point being that year we were playing Vince Young and Cedric Benson. I think you know who those players are.
Right.
So we know what the final score of that game was? 22-20, I think. Yeah, 22-20. Matt Jones is heading down for the final drive. We're at less than 2 minutes left. We're just kind of trying to hold on for the field goal, maybe go for the touchdown. He unfortunately fumbled. It was like third down or whatever. Anyway, point being, we're about to win. I mean, we're right there to win home. We were at home that year versus number 8 Texas. The year before we went to Texas and beat Texas. We were unranked. Then all of a sudden after that game we went to, anyway, you get my point. Even when we weren't that great, but now when we're not great, it's like we might as well be out there playing.
Yeah.
I mean,
we might do better.
We might. But anyway, done with this. But the Hogs, I just had to throw that out there. I was thinking about that the other day because that game I was like, man, even when we weren't great back in the day.
Who do the Hogs play this weekend?
Let's see, who do the Hogs play this week? But that was week 2, so let's get on to week 3 here, might as well. I know there's definitely some good games to preview. There's nothing top 10 going on. There's no one in the top 25 playing each other this week, so it's kind of a slow week.
I know.
Top 10 plays no one.
Yeah.
No one, literally this week. Oh, here's one good crazy story. Sad though. Arkansas State head coach Blake Anderson. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, great story. They ran that on ESPN, and they play Georgia this week, so that's who Georgia plays. Arkansas plays. Let's see if Tennessee gets a win this week. They play Chattanooga, so wow. If they do not get a win this week, they may fire their head coach. Arkansas this week, they play. Oh, that's right, because last year, here's where it started going downhill. They looked pretty good in their first game. They actually ran up the scores like 450-ish to like 15. You know what I mean? They won by about 30-40. Go to Colorado State. They're up like 10.5. They end up losing by 10. They are up at 10. They are up 10.5. Or I think maybe that was one of those things like we're up at half. Let's see if we just don't pull away because we have the superior talent. Obviously, we end up losing by 10 at Colorado State last year. Now we do a home and home with them. So now we play Colorado State at home. So we got Colorado State. It's a little payback game. Got it. It'd be a huge win for them, especially.
That'd be good.
Yeah, we'll see. So that's who they play this week, and I'm going to get to it. I know who does Notre Dame play? New Mexico. That's right. They host New Mexico.
Yes.
So a bit of a slower week. There's really not much going on. I'll even get to the top 25 real quick. I mean, Alabama, they'll play South Carolina. You've seen South Carolina put up some points against, you know what I mean. So we'll see if they just put up 70+ against Charleston. So we'll see what they do this week. Notre Dame, New Mexico. Ohio State plays Indiana. Really, it's Kent State and Auburn, Florida and Kentucky. So we'll see if Florida. Last year, Kentucky was the first time.
You know what? There could still be upsets, man. You never know.
Oh yeah, let me tell you why. Last year, Kentucky upset Florida. Florida had a 31-year. And it was like the 5th longest ever, and it was the longest current at the time. They'd beat Kentucky every year since like 1988. Right. And that's just last year Kentucky, and that was at Florida too, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the same thing, like
Clemson has Syracuse this week.
Last week Michigan's thinking, oh, we got Army here at Michigan.
Exactly.
And they're lucky to get out of there alive.
Those pushover games exactly. Trust me, you got to watch out for those little. Recap week 1 of the NFL real quick. Dub Bears. I'm previewing a little. Got a little head. I was good. I got excited there. Dub Bears.
We're gonna say Dub Bears.
Yeah, well, because last week
suck.
Well, they do. They didn't look good last week. But I was talking about Thursday Night Football. Did you watch any of last night's game, Thursday Night Football, which was the Bucs and the Panthers?
I did not.
Panthers not looking so good.
Yeah, I did not. I don't know what I was doing.
It was 20-14. I didn't watch much of it either, and the Panthers looked terrible. I mean, Cam Newton can't get it going. I went ahead, and I told you this yesterday. I was like, man, I'm going to go ahead and put in McCaffrey because Christian McCaffrey, they're leaning on him big time. He had like 30 total plus touches in week 1. Last night he had like 10, 15. Yeah. I'm glad I put him in. He got me like 5-6 points in fantasy. Yeah. How about that? We'll get to fantasy in a minute. Anyway, but they didn't look good last night. And the Panthers, the Bucs beat you, and I think the Panthers were at home. Whew, that is not good.
Not good.
Especially when you have Cam Newton, you get Christian McCaffrey. Anyway, this week's big matchups. Cowboys what are you laughing about?
What? I'm just kidding. I was sitting there thinking, man, I gotta get my fantasy football league stuff going. Man, I've been tardy.
You're good. You're good to go. You got Mahomes. Hell, that's all you need. We'll get into that in a minute. Hell, Mahomes and throwing a couple other players. Hell, he's gonna score as long as he's healthy. But yeah, I mean that guy, he just throws it around. I mean, I'm like last week watching that game against the Jaguars, talking about since we're still in week 1.
Okay, hey, can I change my Super Bowl pick?
You want to go to the Cowboys now, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to the Cowboys.
You going Homer pick?
Yeah, I'm going Homer pick because after I watched the Browns, man, Browns got.
Well, you got canned. They lost by like 40.
Well, I was trying to give them some good vibes.
And they were trying to play that off, and I'm like, they'll go probably 8-8. They'll probably go 8-8.
I'm probably the only guy in the country that picked them to lose.
No. There are a lot of Browns fans, and there's probably a few other critics, as in actual real analysts. I doubt it. They're the one and the few that like the ones that write the handwritten notes. That's about that same percentage.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So there is a percentage. It's not 0. Let me tell you. But
the Cowboys looking good.
Well, you get Zeke back. He's fresh. He hasn't been touched all preseason.
By the way, I'm not a Zeke fan, but
I know. But having him back so huge, they're gonna sign. They're about to sign. Prescott's gonna hit his deal. Cooper's gonna. They're gonna keep that 3 intact so they can reminisce of the '90s. They have the offensive line pretty much intact, so that's kind of like the '90s.
Listen,
Zeke's. You got your running back, Amari Cooper. You got your Michael Irvin. Prescott, the good guy off the field, you got your Troy Aikman. You see what I'm saying? Now, I wish Zeke was a lot more like Emmitt Smith, the great guy that he is still, obviously. They're all...
You know what somebody needs to tell
Someone's got to be the bad guy, because Irvin was a bad guy. So you got my point. Someone's got to be the bad guy. In a way. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. But.
I don't know if I have this name right, but somebody needs to tell Ezekiel Elliott, they need to just say to him, is it DeMarco Murray?
Yeah, DeMarco Murray, yeah, the guy that they had, and where's he at now?
Yeah, they need to just say DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, you remember what happened to him? We let him go.
Remember when he got the big head?
Yeah,
he had that stellar year with the Cowboys.
I'm telling you.
What did he have in front of him? Oh, the same offensive line that you're running with.
Yep, I know. Hey, regardless, he should better be counting his blessings as we are,
and he better produce.
Regardless, good pick because the East. I don't think it's gonna be that. I think you're gonna have your Eagles to contend with, and that's it. Otherwise, you're probably gonna win the East again. Didn't y'all win last year? The Eagles may have won last year. I can't remember who won the East last year, but you get my point. Y'all are gonna both be. One of y'all are gonna get the wild card because I'm just not really sold on a lot of the NFC teams.
Right.
We'll see. I just don't, as in being strong up top. I mean, they'll have a few good teams, but the really strong teams, especially now that you've got your core players, your 3 back intact there, looking good. Much better than the Browns. Not much better, but definitely better than the Browns.
Oh, no doubt.
So anyway, real back.
It's only week 1.
I'm telling you.
It's only week 1.
They play the Redskins this week, so they'll already be up. If they're already up 2-0 in the division, that'll be great. As in when their first 2 division games.
Is that in Washington?
It is actually in Washington.
Okay.
So we'll see how they play there. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they get the dub, obviously, anyway. Well, and we'll get to that. Dub Bears. Why I brought them up because they're here. That's who my Broncos play. So the Broncos host the Bears this weekend.
Man,
what?
Broncos should win that game.
You think?
Well,
they are favored to win, and it is at home. Yeah, the Redskins lost last week. Did you remember who the Redskins played?
I have no idea.
Let's check it out real quick. Yeah, they play. Oh, that's right, the Eagles. So another end. That was in a little high-scoring game, 32-27. So a pretty good game there. So I think it'll be a pretty good game this week for you. I don't think it'll be I don't think you're gonna blow. What in the last week? It's not like you blew out the Giants or anything. Look good though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. I'm just saying relatively.
It was a dominant performance though. Cowboys.
It was 35-17. Yeah. They did say that because I watched it early on and it wasn't quite a blow. Like I wouldn't say that a blowout. The blowouts, that's right. The Dolphins who's lost by 4. The Dolphins lost 59-10. Do you see that when the Ravens?
Dolphins are in bad shape.
Ooh, but the Ravens, I can't believe how good Lamar's looking.
Yeah.
I mean, looking great. And the Browns, they lost by that was right, 33. Browns lost by 33. The Dolphins lost by 49. Almost 50 points. 59-10.
Yeah. You never saw that in the good old days, man.
Oh man. You see that a lot these days. You'll see a blowout once in a while.
You used to never see that in pro football.
Some good games to look forward to this week. Seahawks at the Steelers. That's a good one to look forward to. On obviously the Sunday, that's at noon. Same with your Cowboys Redskins. The afternoon game that I'm looking forward to beside my Broncos is going to be the Saints at the Rams. That's going to be probably a good one. Eagles at the Falcons. So that'll both be good games. Monday night game, Browns at the Jets. So we'll see what the Browns can do. Old school days, I'm going, So we'll see. I mean, we'll see if the Browns can't get back at it. The Jets, you see, what's his face? Darnold. Sam Darnold's got mono. He's out for probably a month now. Their quarterback has mono.
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
out.
Yeah.
Trevor Siemian, old Bronco quarterback, starting for him.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's get to fantasy football week 1.
Did I win? Did I kick your butt?
You won. You won, Doc. And this week, now that Christian McCaffrey was supposed to get 21 points and only got me 6.3, you're looking pretty good to beat me this week again. Although I was favored to win at first, now you're favored at 110. You're scheduled to get 110 points. I'm scheduled now to only get 98.
Ooh.
Last week you won. If we can get to week 1 in the matchups, you won 122-95. So yeah, you beat me by You put it to me, but Mahomes gets you 33 points, and Rodgers, that's why I'm like, Rodgers only got me 15 points last week. He did not have a good game on Thursday Night Football.
Discount double checking.
Yep.
Doing some.
And Nuke Hopkins got you. Him and Kamara got you 2 big games. Your Rodgers, those are your 3 core besides Odell Beckham. So we'll see when he starts hooking up with we'll see when they start hooking up. But Mahomes, and then you have Nuke Hopkins, which him and Deshaun Watson already have you get my point. They already have their relationship. They're down. They have that down pat. Obviously, he's been there for a couple years. It's going to take a little bit for, oh my gosh, Odell, what's his name now? Browns quarterback. Baker Mayfield. It's going to take him a little bit for him and OBJ to kind of get their groove on. I think they'll have a game here and there, but I think it'll be midseason on when they really start connecting. But then Alvin Kamara, like I said, great pickup for you as the running back position. That's why I put in this week. That's why I put in Christian McCaffrey, because he's like McCarr. He's going to get 15 to 20 rushes, but then he's going to get about 5 to 10 easy receptions. Somewhere in that range.
Right.
And then this week, wow, like I said last night, McCaffrey just kind of bust into this week. McCaffrey. Whew, literally last night, let's see what he got me in the game log. Last week he had 128 rush yards. This week he only had 37. Last week he had 128 rush yards, 2 touchdowns. This week he had 37. Last week he had 11 total targets, so passes toward him. He had 10 receptions last week for 81 yards. This week he only had 6 targets for 2 and he only had 2 receptions for 16 yards.
Is there a fantasy baseball?
Yeah, there's fantasy football, fantasy baseball, fantasy basketball.
What do you do fantasy baseball, man?
It's the only thing about it's just a little bit hard to keep. It's a little bit harder to keep up with. You can't keep the lineup in because there's so many more games.
It's certainly not as popular as fantasy football.
Football is where it's at. The other ones where you're doing a lot more change and you have to have a few more players and you're going to have to be on it a lot more.
Right.
Where this, you can just leave your team in all year until, it's a bye week, I better put someone in.
You're right.
Other than that, it's like I'm coasting. I got Patrick Mahomes. I'm scheduled I'm scheduled for 31.5 points. Are you kidding me? But anyway, so it'll be good. So I put in Deshaun Watson too. I went out with Rodgers. I went in Watson this week. I got Julio Jones, Michael Thomas. I went McCaffrey, Kelsey.
Is it too late for me to make changes?
No, if you want to, go ahead. But you have Mahomes in, Odell Beckham, Nuke Hopkins. We got Alvin Kamara, Ertz, I should say. And then, of course, who cares? Kicker defense, they're here nor there. You can put Prescott in if you want to, or I don't think there's anyone else for you to put in. You have, and luckily you didn't have Tyreek Hill in, the wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, because he got hurt last week and he's out for. But you're set. I wouldn't touch your lineup. I wouldn't touch it until someone got hurt or it's a bye week for now. That starting core: Mahomes, Beckham Jr., Hopkins, and Kamara. I even did the thing did the stories on Instagram and said, you can pick one side or the other, and said which side you like more. Everyone loving you. You got Mahomes. That's like the year when Brady goes off, the year when Manning goes off for 50 touchdowns, or him last year. You didn't know he was going to. This year, he's probably may not go off for 50, but he'll probably go off for 35 to 40, like I said, total, and 4,500, 5,000 yards. That point being 30-plus points a week, which is just monster numbers. So, great little week for you upcoming as well. Hopefully, I can get a win in sometime or another. Jeez, come on, team. Come on, Optimus Prime. You're letting Bob's nifty team take you down? Come on, Prime. All right, let's get to what we've all been waiting for, the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks. Let's talk about him. Dan Gabriel, is he going to be in? He had good numbers, and not only did he have pretty good numbers for back in the day.
Gabriel?
Dan. I'm thinking of Dan. I literally thinking of Dan. I put it even on here because I was thinking of Dan
I
Marino.
should just walk off the set.
Yeah, right.
Now.
Well, dude, I know it's Roman because it reminds me of a wrestler's name. We talked about that last week. That'd be a cool Roman Gabriel.
Roman Gabriel.
Anyway,
Los Angeles.
Brought it up to so let's take this back real quick. He did, and he went 3 seasons. They were like 11 and something, 10 and something, 11 something. He had point being in 3 seasons they were like 23 and about 7 or so. They were pretty good for 3 seasons. What's the playoffs? Point being, let's get back. Called the show with no name. Thank you, The Buzz. So I had Dad on. We've had Basil on, the Baznator, Uncle Baz. We got to get Uncle Roger on. Yeah. We're going to get him on. So I called him. I got to ask Dad, well, you know what? I'm going to kill 3 birds with 1 stone, have fun, call the station, promote the show. So I called in and said, hey, guys, what's up? Doing our Mount Rushmore. You know, I'm stealing this for Dad, a little Mount Rushmore for fun. But Dan Gabriel, God, did it again. Roman Gabriel. Yeah, obviously, because I pulled up his stats and I was talking to him. I'm like, man, Roman. And then Roger, first thing he said, all I can remember is him in that Rams helmet. And he was like, Tommy, he was single bar, wasn't he? He was single bar quarterback. Dad was like, yep, he was single bar. But yeah, all 3 of them remember
They
him.
all know him.
All know him. Big time. Like Roman. And like that name, they're like, yeah.
They all said he was a good quarterback.
Oh, yeah. They're like, Roman. I mean, talk about the name.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
hey, here's a real quick stat. Here's one of the guys to be drafted twice. 1962, drafted first overall in the AFL draft. The first overall pick, Doc. First.
Roman Gabriel?
Roman Gabriel. 1963, the second overall draft pick in the NFL draft. 2 years in a row went first, and then he went second. So, yeah,
I tell you, man,
pretty much he's a stud.
You've picked up on the fact I live in the past, right? My Farrah Fawcett poster,
right?
Roman Gabriel.
Right.
Come on, man.
I mean, Roman.
Floyd Little.
I love it.
Come on, man.
I mean,
I'm old school.
I know it, but yeah, Roman Gabriel. How about that little tidbit? Drafted first in 62,
That's pretty cool.
Second.
Yeah.
So 2 draft. That's crazy. He's drafted twice. So let's go to, come on, Doc. I'm sure Roman Gabriel isn't in your Mount Rushmore, but I want to know who is.
Okay, it's a tough choice, but I'll give you some names.
And if you give me 5 names, I'm gonna smack you.
I'm gonna give you. Yeah, right. Yeah, here's my 6 names.
yeah, right. You get 4.
It was hard for me to come up with 6.
Yeah.
But no, let me tell you something. I'm just going to throw out some names you don't even know.
Do it.
One of my favorite quarterbacks of all time, Fran Tarkington.
Big name.
You know Fran Tarkington?
For the Vikings? Are you
Yes.
kidding me? My uncle, that was his, because he was my back in life. We had a big family. They were probably born all over because your family moved a lot.
Right.
Moved a lot more so than families move nowadays. Almost every one of my dad's siblings, which are like 5 of them, were born. He was like him, and I think Aunt Vicky were born in Little Rock. One in Kansas. One point being, but one that was born up north. His team were the Minnesota Vikings. And still to this day loves the purple people eaters.
Fran Tarkington, man.
Dude can get around on those. He had some wheels. He had some wheels.
He was fun to watch.
Big time.
He was fun to watch.
Him and Johnny U. I mean, I know he could be in there, but him and Johnny U were one of the first 2 I remember that could just. Sammy Ball could run around.
Right. Fran Tarkington was like the Pistol Pete Maravich.
Yeah, it kind of was smaller
of football,
definitely,
of the NFL. Right.
Yep.
Loved Fran Tarkington.
Yep.
I also remember watching quarterbacks like George Blanda.
There we go. Yeah. He could throw the ball around.
And Sonny Jurgensen.
Jurgensen, yeah. Here's one in the baseball real quick. How about Sonny Drysdale?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what was his name? No, Sonny Drysdale is the or whatever. Something Drysdale. What's the guy's name?
You're thinking
the Dodgers pitcher.
You're thinking of the Beverly Hillbillies?
Yes, Don Drysdale. See, I threw 2 names in there at once. I'm going back to the. I'm trying to show you.
I'm walking off the set.
I am trying to show you. I know some old school names, Doc.
I'm leaving.
Okay, guys, it's just me. All right, so. All right.
So listen, I said.
Bart Starrs of the world.
Bart Starr. Kilmer, Fran Tarkington.
Yep.
These are names that I.
Otto Graham, here's another good one.
Oh, yeah, right. So I love those guys. But, okay, those are all just like honorable mentions because.
Definitely. Terry Bradshaw, honestly, I know he was surrounded by a lot.
I loved with Lynn Swan.
I mean,
that was like magic.
Dude could play.
Franco Harris.
I mean, I have his, because one of my uncles, speaking of uncles, gave me his autograph. It's the Miracle, the
Miracle Catch.
Yes, he has has the picture
Franco.
of that. And has his autograph. I'm like, yeah. So I have Franco Harris's autograph.
It's a big deal.
So definitely old school. A lot of good old schoolers.
A lot of good old
and even newers. I mean, you can go new school. We could go. I mean, you got the Roethlisbergers of the world.
Right.
Breeze, you could maybe make your list. Who I have on there. You get my point. I mean, there's a lot of old, new and old school that were Jim Kelly. Another good quarterback that went to a lot of Super Bowls, put up a lot of big numbers. So
right.
Let's get your
my first Mount Rushmore quarterback of all time.
Let's plaque him.
Would be Joe Montana.
Right on the left there, Big Joe.
Big Joe.
Not Broadway Joe, who another great one, but the Joe Montana.
Joe Montana, and it's kind of funny, how quickly we forget, how great Joe Montana was. At one time he was all the talk. Now it's replaced by Tom Brady. Oh, by the way, does my Mount Rushmore, can it include current quarterback?
Yes. Oh, certainly so. I have 2 current and I have 2 old school. I mean, that's why there was a couple of names I didn't name drop from the 90s and 2000s because I didn't know if they were going to be on your list. But anyway, Favre and Marino, those were a couple too that weren't on my list that were right there. Favre, Marino, Johnny U were my close calls. Those are other big school. Obviously, I don't know if they're going to be on your list, but we're mentioning those other ones. Some people are like, what about Favre? What about Marino? Dude, those are they're right there. They're like, if there's a second Mount Rushmore,
they're there.
They're there.
So I'm going with
or could be on yours if they want to be.
Yeah, Joe Montana, Roger Staubach.
Boom, 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 boom.
Goes right next
to him.
Goes on the Mount Rushmore.
Yep.
Right. Obviously, current player on Mount Rushmore.
22,700 yards, 57% completion percentage, 7.7 yards a attempt, 153 touchdowns, 109 interception, 3.7 is the interception percentage ratio, 83.4 passer rating. Wow, 2-time Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, 6-time Pro Bowler.
Correct.
Boom. I mean, Joe Montana don't even need to go through all his stats.
Don't go through. Yeah, right. So Joe Montana, I got Roger Staubach, and obviously Tom Brady has to go, even though he's a current player.
Yep.
Tom Brady's going on the Mount Rushmore of
already accumulated 61,000 plus yards, 63, it's almost 64% completion percentage, 7.5 yards an attempt, 456 touchdowns to only 152 interceptions. So that interception ratio to 1.8, that's super low. 97.2 passer rating. Then of course all the other stuff he's. But yeah, those numbers alone. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
And then you can only mention about 3 or 4 primetime. Gronk for a little bit. 1 year he had Randy. Otherwise, it's not. My point being, he hadn't had for 10, 15 years hadn't had the stud wide receiver. You get my point.
Right.
I mean, he's worked with a cast, this cast, that cast.
Right.
All right. So now we've got Montana, Staubach, Brady.
And then I'm going old school for this one because I just think you have to because of the franchise he played for, the time period he played, and his accomplishments. I would have to go with Bart Starr.
Bart Starr, right there. You got to. I mean, there you go.
I think classic. Bart Starr, Green Bay Packers,
Vince
Lombardi.
Right?
I think it's just classic. So I got on my Mount Rushmore, I got Bart Starr, Roger Staubach, Joe Montana, and then Tom Brady.
Nice. Boom, boom, boom. I can't. 1A, 1B. We're going Brady. Boom. Right next to him, Montana. Boom. I mean, they're probably first 2. Boom, boom.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, those are my top 2 for sure of all time. I mean, you got 2. Those are probably gonna be most people's top 2. Real quick, Montana's 40,000 plus passing yards, 63% completion percentage, 273 touchdowns to 139 interceptions, so a 2.6% interception percentage ratio, 92.3% or 92.3 passer rating, which is just ridiculously good. So boom, and I just went over Brady. So those are my top 2. Then after that, it was definitely it was like I said, Favre, Marino, Johnny U. There's a couple other ones, but I mean they're on everyone's list. But so you got to, and they can be 2B and 2A. I'm going Elway and I'm going Manning. So I've got.
See, those are big. Yeah, those are good, man. Those are 2 good picks, right?
Montana, Brady, Elway, Manning. Manning, real quick, almost 72,000 passing yards, 65% completion percentage, 539 touchdowns, a 251 interceptions, so a 2.7% percentage, 96.5 passer rating. Of course, all his accolades. And even Elway, in the time that he played, his stats real quick, 51,000 plus passing yards, 57% completion percentage, 300 touchdowns, a 226 interception, so a 3.1 interception ratio, 79, so 80 or right at 80 passer ratings. And if all those old school guys, their numbers weren't nearly as nowadays. Their interceptions are a lot more down. Why? Because those receivers can do whatever they want. Back in the day, DBs could hang on you essentially. That's why you don't see people getting 10, 12 interceptions a year anymore. Like Champ Bailey even probably did. I think it was like 2006. You don't see 10 plus interceptions a year anymore, and you're not going to. Why? Because they can't. It's just hard. They're just not.
Yeah. Yeah, man. See, I think you got to have somebody, man. How can you leave off the Packers, man? It'd be like having a Mount Rushmore of baseball players and leaving somebody from the Yankees not being on there.
That's true. That's them. It's like you could go here, and that's one thing I brought up to that. Who has the best quarterback combo of all time? The Packers or the Broncos?
Yeah.
Broncos, Brady, Elway.
Right.
I'm talking Elway and Manning, and then or Favre or Bart.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Are you kidding me?
That's pretty
They've
good.
been blessed with some QBs. Thank God. I wish I could really take credit for the whole career of Manning, but because it's mostly Indianapolis. He did have obviously really set more records with Broncos than he did.
You really need 2 Mount Rushmores, man.
Yeah, it's hard with quarterbacks.
You can't just 4.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard. So that's why I wanted to see who. And because it comes back to who's your favorite. Who do you want? You get my point. So that's why I went Manning and Elway. Elway's going to be on mine for sure. I mean, you put Elway in today's league with his mobility and his size and that gun, that cannon strapped to his shoulder, he'd be passing for 5,000 every year and 40 touchdowns.
Are we going to do a Mount Rushmore of centers?
I was hoping we'd do Mount Rushmore of D tackles. Maybe kickers.
That's my attempt.
All right.
Attempt at some very bad football.
I know. And
can we even name 4 centers? Can you name 4 centers?
Tom Nalen played for the Broncos.
Okay.
For sure. And then, right now, yeah, exactly right. Don't know.
Who can name 4 centers?
Nobody.
There's nobody that can name
probably.
4 centers.
All right. Next week, though, I'm asking you right now, do you know guests lined up?
I just got to make a call, man.
Well, if you want to, we can. But if you want to next week, I was going to do the Mount Rushmore of running backs.
Ooh. That'd be fun. Let's do Mount Rushmore for running backs. And even if we have a guest.
Because I want to do September, the Mount Rushmore. We'll keep it football since football is kind of going, kind of going. So I just wanted to ask to see if you'd like that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
I would love.
It's better than Mount Rushmore of centers.
Well, yeah.
You'd have to do some serious research.
I'd love to get, especially for running backs, and we can save it for when he's on, but I'd love to save it.
For Mr.
Yes.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
That would be.
We're gonna surprise.
But we could do that. We could do that next week.
All right,
you want to start lining that now?
I will.
And then he could do like one, because then we could do in the chamber of. We could do
I'll
his top 4 versus the top 4 hardest he's ever played.
I'll ask him if he can name 4 centers.
I'm sure he can.
You think?
We'll be in a. I'm not. Well, we can't tease it too much. Okay. Let's get into the coveted segment, stud or dud. And I can't wait to get back to the chamber, which was brought up. Which was brought up. Like I said, that's what was brought up when I called the buzz. I was talking about Roger getting into the chamber. And I got the voice going, and they love the chamber. Even Basil's talking about, man, you had your dad reeling had him on the ropes. I was like, I know, it's the chamber. They all know what the chamber is now. You better watch out.
Yeah, right.
It's like
no one wants to go into the chamber.
Do not. Let's get to the coveted. We're gonna keep it positive this week, all the way around. First off, pay respects to, like I said, Ghost. Well, I can't even say it now, but Ghost of Studs Pass kind of went with that little Christmas theme, but. Man, not the week that is 9/11. I want to pay tribute to all those people, literally, that were there. I mean, everyone from first responders, firefighters, police officers, all the FBI agents that you saw. Because, I watched those, even like literally on 9/11, Avery was going to Little Rock, so I put it on like one of those ones from forever ago, like the 90, I forgot what it's called, but it's one of those ones they first did that show all the firsthand footage from all the people from down below. And, for all those people, and from the flights to just want to pay my respects to you. Wow. God bless you all. And God bless everyone that, fixed it, anyway, just everyone that had to deal with it and had to deal with it. Us, even people as citizens going home and then seeing the gas stations piled up.
Yeah. Well, to tell you how close to home this is, too, I won't mention his name because I don't think he would want me to. I teach a gentleman online piano.
Yep.
Online. He's from Boston. And just happened to ask him this last week, I asked him, what did you do? And he got kind of quiet, and he said, I worked for the FAA for 30 years.
Wow.
I said, wow. And he said, yes. He was the flight controller in Boston on that day on 9/11. So
what a crazy day, grounding flights.
And he, just in talking to him, you could tell that this week was very emotional.
Oh, I'm sure. That's what I'm saying. Imagine all the people that dealt with it. It wasn't just people in New York and all the first responders, people in the flights. All the people around the country that ended up having to deal with it.
So, he said, he goes, just Google. He said, Google 9/11 in my name, and he's all over the place.
That's cool.
I had no idea when I've been teaching him. I had no idea. But, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because all the first responders, that's just kind of just looking at the imagery again and kind of reliving that again.
Nuts.
It's
sad.
It's
how we take things for granted back then, how the TA or whatever when we go, that was created afterward. Like when you go through all that stuff now, that wasn't there. None of the TSA, that wasn't even there. That was never there.
It wasn't.
You coasted right through essentially.
And it's sad that it is there.
Yeah.
That it has to be there. But actually, my takeaway this last week, honestly, after seeing everything again, I'm actually sadder and even more emotionally drained this week than I was actually the week that it occurred. It's interesting how tragic that tragedy is. And if for some reason we're not getting, if it's not impacting us with the passing of time, I think there's something wrong. I think if you don't look back at that and see that imagery and kind of just pause and take a time out for a second and just kind of let that settle in about what happened.
Oh, yeah.
How can you not be even more devastated? it's an unbelievable event that I don't know how we could ever.
So real quick, where were you?
We were getting ready for work at home, and I remember I was in our master bathroom getting dressed, and Tamlin came in from the kitchen, and she said, "Wow," she goes, "there's some kind of accident that happened at the World Trade Center in New York." I said, "Really?" And she goes, "Yeah, they think like a little plane flew into the building."
What everyone thought at first.
Yeah, she
Same
thought
here.
Yeah,
Same here.
I can remember her saying.
I'm thinking for some reason like a personal plane or
Yeah. So, and I said, kind of like a little.
Which we've seen lately,
like
those helicopters that people think they know what they're doing, and you're like, oh no, and they just messed up, and tragedy happened.
Correct. So I thought it was just a little plane that flew.
Yeah, like
in.
a lot of the ones we see right over here off in Addison Airport.
Correct.
The regional one.
Correct. So I remember thinking, oh man, that's a shame. And then I can remember thinking, what a dork, man. How do you.
Yeah, like how did that happen? man, that's a huge building. Like,
how do you miss that,
yeah.
man? How do you miss that? And I was thinking, what a dork. And then it was only minutes. It felt like minutes later. All of a sudden, we're like, oh my gosh, it was a commercial airlines that flew in. And then at that time, I remember we still didn't even realize it was an act of terrorism. Yeah. I'm going like, how does a commercial airlines fly into the World Trade Center?
Like, what's going on here?
Right. And then the rest of the day was just,
history essentially.
Yeah, right. It was
definitely crazy. I was going into whatever, luckily, kind of in a way, and I shouldn't even went in that day because we really didn't do too much. But we went in later on Tuesdays for whatever reason. I'll never forget it was on a Tuesday. And anyway, went in later on Tuesdays for whatever weird reason. It was cool, and I liked it. So we remember getting ready and same type thing. Someone called me, mom or my girlfriend at the time, and said, hey, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking someone in their private plane.
Their little Beechcraft.
Yeah, that, whatever. Yeah, that, just something flew in. And then I'm finally like, might want to turn it on because I'm right there in my bedroom. I had a TV, so I turned it on. We're literally getting ready, about to leave. And then you see the hole of the first one, and you're like, literally, damn, like.
That ain't a little plane that.
Yeah, like that's, And then I don't remember to this day, because it would be probably ingrained in my mind, but I know it was around that same time as when I turned it on when the second one hit. Now, I can't remember because the news was already on it. So I can't remember if I remember watching it live, because one of those things too, they can probably cut away. I can't remember if they cut off, like, because you can cut the feed off, like, we don't want everyone seeing a plane fly into a building. Anywho, which you see it now, obviously you can see tons of video of it. But right on that thing, I turned it on, and then of course, then you're just like, wow, we're under attack. Like, this is something crazy that's going on. Then the rest of it unfolds. Yeah. I go to school, and of course, I'm one of those people that are at school. And unfortunately, we didn't turn it on too many. They didn't want us watching it, which I wish they would have. A lot of other schools did, but they're kind of updating us like this fell, or the Tower 1 fell, and now we're just sitting there having to
just horrible,
almost old school style. We're having to take it like it's the 70s, 80s, and just hear from our teachers what they're hearing from the hallways, because we're just sitting there going, because we don't have this anymore. We don't have this back then.
Correct.
So anyway. So just nuts having to kind of get word of mouth, and then going home, and then seeing every gas station. It's like you're the whole over the United States is like at war essentially. Not really. Everyone's hitting the gas station zone. Like every gas station's super pumped, and now they're inflating the gas for like 30, 40, 50 cents. And
yeah, I also remember that day. I remember that afternoon and that evening. You weren't in Dallas. You were in Arkansas.
Yeah, I was in Little Rock.
Yeah,
or Cabot.
I remember how eerie it was because
I'm sure you had to shut down World Trade Center here, didn't y'all?
Yeah, well, everything shut down. I remember driving home from work that evening. There was no one on the streets.
Wow. Yeah.
No one.
And no one was on the street, but the only thing I remember is just the gas stations being packed.
So there was here you are in the city of Dallas, and there's no one out.
Yeah.
And they shut down all air traffic.
Yeah.
Everything shut down.
They grounded that day. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then it stayed grounded. Mm-hmm. And what was weird was we're so used to hearing.
Oh, especially here, yeah.
We're so
many
used
flights.
to hearing. It's just part of the landscape here, right? Hearing planes.
And we are well, I don't have one too close here. We were 2 feet away from. We were Jacksonville. We have an Air Force base like that's right there. Right. So we were. That's only that way. That was the only reason that we had something to deal with and to worry about, because every Air Force base was now kind of like on watch because of where they're going to bomb. And I'm like, Jacksonville Air Force. I mean, because it's not that big. It's smaller. Right. And I'm like, they're not going to be. They're going to be going to the bigger cities. Or not that I hate to say that, but you get my point. That's what. Yeah. Because now you're thinking about that. Now that is what that's what you're thinking about. Like, where are they going to bomb first, or where are they going after next?
Well, that's right.
Because they didn't give me probably Arkansas. So you know what I mean.
It was just odd. It was just eerie. No plane traffic. Yep. No
noise. Yeah. So quiet.
Auto traffic and no air traffic. Everything was just so quiet. Definitely quiet. And you're in a major city.
Right. Yeah.
It was like, whoa.
Definitely a crazy day, and definitely pay respect. Never forget people. And for those that it's sad to see the world we live in now, and it's just that day and the day after, especially, and how all the flag stories, that everyone talks about that. I wish our country was like it was the day after 9/11.
Oh my gosh.
Just wish. Let's get to a little bit more. That somber. That wasn't too. Let me get my point. I had to bring that up for Stutter Duds and all those studs that
real studs
and are still
real
having
studs.
to deal with it.
Real
because you see all the people with getting cancer, they're still dying from it. So super studs. Thank you all those for sure, and definitely pay my respects to each and every one of you. How about T. Boo Pickens? Another kind of having to deal a little bit more with death, but man, great guy. Definitely a stud of studs. Could not believe how much I knew he was, obviously, because it was once called Oklahoma A&M, and now it's Oklahoma State. That's where he graduated from back in the 50s. Dies at 91. Donated $165 million at one time in 2006, and you can really tell that's when they really started taking off in athletics too, by the way. But that helps when you can build facilities, and now you're Nike and you have all the cool anyway. But donated $165 million in 2006 over the years to the athletic program, $300 million. Overall to the university, 652. Are you kidding me? He donated 600. Why can't there be more people like that? Oh, real quick, my man, the GOAT. Got him on today. Another pair. Had more than these too much. The 12s. Well, my man, the GOAT. Guess what he did for the Bahamas? Donated $1 million. $1 million. Where are more people like that can just say, that do have $1 billion, essentially,
Correct.
like T. Boone Pickens, the Michael Jordans of the world. What's $1 million to them, essentially?
Yeah, like $1 to you and me.
Yeah, maybe even I wouldn't even say 100. Probably 10 at most. Probably $1 to $10.
Yeah.
I mean, you kidding me?
Right.
I wish there were just more like that.
Right.
T. Boone Pickens, the Michael Jordans of the world. Not that Jordan does it all the time. He does donate a lot and has a bunch of great organizations that But come on, what is it to you?
Yeah.
Bill Gates of the world. All those people are. I don't know. Help the Bahamas out. Do you see what's going on down there? It's super close to us.
Right.
All over the world, and okay, well then I got to help this, but just every once in a while, I'll just do that, because what is 400? What's even 100,000 a year?
Well, and I'm sure there are those that do that want it to be anonymous.
Exactly, and I hope so. Hopefully so.
I'm sure there are that just say.
But T. Boone Pickens, wow, that dude, stadium and all the facilities are pretty much named after him. So kudos to that great soldier. Talking about it, but same colorway almost. Tennessee football program. We did talk about how sad they were doing. Did you hear the story this week about the kid that went to school? That got bullied, and now he's been offered a scholarship.
Oh, yes.
The fourth grader.
Yes,
you
I
did see
saw
this?
That. Yes, I did see
I was
that.
wondering if you did see that.
Yeah.
I had that pulled up on my phone, but yeah, I guess so. Just real quick, fourth grader was bullied at his school for wearing a homemade Tennessee shirt. I think the day was like Color Day. Or I forgot what exactly it was, but it was an off-brand shirt. It was just an orange shirt, and then he literally got a piece of paper. And just put, just put UT
awesome.
on it. Yeah, and it's just
awesome.
So, and just pinned it to his shirt. Of course, was super made fun of, made headlines all over. If you didn't see the headlines, so you'll look it up because you'll find it in a hurry. Well, Tennessee, not only they're making T-shirts, by the way. Did you see the T-shirt they're making? They're making a T-shirt, and they're making 50,000 of them. And
good
they're, of course, yeah.
I think that's fantastic.
So cool. So yes.
Now who's bullying who?
Yeah, exactly. And so class of 2032. He's got a full ride to University of Tennessee.
Now those kids that were doing the bullying, their parents are going like, "Why couldn't you have done something like that?" You right.
Like, and I'd be like, I'm not only getting you one of these shirts, you're wearing it every day.
Oh man, no doubt. Right?
But that's awesome. Yeah, cover his scholarship if he chooses to attend the school, and will meet all admission requirements. So if he goes there, it's a free ride. Literally have already aced the ACT.
Oh my gosh.
You kidding me, boss? Like,
that's awesome, dude.
I mean, that's too cool. So definitely want to end it on a great note. So their football program hadn't been doing too great, but definitely they want to shine a light in a different way, in a different manner. So they definitely did that there. Next week's show, let's do it. Let's get maybe our
I'll
next
work
guest
on it this
on.
afternoon.
I've already got a guest in the film world that's already working them in. They do short films. They do full-length films. Obviously, all independent, but I'm going to get them on so we can get the film side. We've done, we've done definitely music, we've done sports. Let's get some film in here. Right. So I'm going to bring, and they're going to come together. It's a couple that they do all these things.
All right, good,
yeah.
very good.
Yep. So I'm lining them up, but next week let's get maybe another stud in here.
I'll get another stud in.
Let's talk, and then let's do the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks. We did that Mount Rushmore of top running backs.
Centers? No, running backs.
Well, we can do centers if we want to. Look up some old school centers. We're doing centers, we're doing D tackles, and then we're doing kickers. We're just doing everyone.
Oh, okay.
We're doing, but to finish this month off, we're doing
Mount Rushmore pulling right guards.
You got it. Don't worry. Guess what we're doing next May? Mount Rushmore of jockeys, baby.
Oh, okay.
Horse racing season.
All right.
I mean, I'm kidding, but we're definitely to finish this.
Shoemaker? Is it Shoemaker? Who is the?
We're gonna do Mount Rushmore this year. This month, because I like it and I love these. We're gonna do running back, and then we'll top it off with wide receiver. We'll take a break, and we're gonna start. We'll do some different ones next month, but then come back to finish the football season off in November. I got a couple more. Definitely, we're gonna do. Not only we're gonna go college. We'll flip it to the college side. We'll do one of those, but then we'll do our coaches for
very good.
Mount Rushmore coaches. And then also what we could do, I think once in October, if you want to, we'll figure out a baseball one for you.
All right, very good.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Got to.
We'll do it. We'll just make it a staple.
Yeah, it is a staple for sure. The Mount Rushmore.
The Mount Rushmore.
The Mount Rushmore of studs.
Yes.
There you go,
I
bud.
like it.
And then we'll come up with some other ones too, as well to do, the other different ones that I've got. Steal them from Dad. Dad's got a lot of fun stuff. I mean, you heard like when he was on that Delta stuff. I mean, you just bring it up and boom, people are calling in. Oh, let me tell you who mine is. I mean, we just need to get a call-in line. That's going to be blowing up over there. All right, next week's show, definitely Mount Rushmore of running backs. Get us a new. Hopefully, we'll get us another guest. All that and much more. I'll come up with some more stuff to talk about. Recap, obviously, football. Week 2 of NFL. Week 2 of fantasy football. Week 3 of college football. And we'll preview the upcoming weeks. That's going to be a staple for the fall season for sure. All that and much more. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify. Hear all the episodes. And then, of course, you want to view them right here from this beautiful camera that's still rolling and going from this new view.
Yeah.
On YouTube. Or head to the website, studdandub.com. You can catch everything there. You can find where we're linked up.
We're all over.
I mean, look at us. I mean, come on, Doc. We're trying here.
Come on.
For a couple of studs.
Come on. We're all over.
All right. Thank you all for listening. Until next week, I'm Josh Smith.
Bob Lawrence.
Peace.